Here now, retired NYPD detective Pat Brosnan, along with national security contributor, former DHS advisor Charles Marino. All right, so Pat, this is pretty concerning, seeing how that we have no idea who came into this country over the last 4 years.
Terrifying. And good afternoon, Carl. The fact is, we're now in an everything, everywhere, all at once threat environment. It's beer gardens. It's churches, it's mosques, it's everywhere. It's buildings in the city of New York. We do not know how many came in, except that we do know it was a lot. We do know they're focused, they're desperate, they are armed, and we are in harm's way. And I concur. Whatever the threat environment was last Saturday, today it's much higher in light of what occurred in Iran. And by the way, property of Allah and a Quran in the car, they're clues. Yeah, this is domestic terrorism, period.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we don't need much of a scholarly opinion to figure that one out. Charles, the other thing, too, obviously, with your time at DHS, it's tough to monitor all the people that came in here because we don't know how many people came in here. We don't know what they're doing. Where is the threat level as we sit right now, and what should people do?
So I was actually part of the small team that implemented the National Terrorism Advisory System when we did away with the old color-coded threat system in 2011. And my recommendation to the Department of Homeland Security right now and Secretary Noem is to formally raise the threat level for the next 60 days to elevate it, at which time they have the ability to reassess based on the latest intelligence. All it requires to raise the threat level to elevate it in the country is credible information. Well, we have credible information. Yep. 4 straight years of open borders and the exploitation of the immigration system in this country, which allowed global threats from 180 different countries to come in. And, you know, we don't know how many made it in. It's what Donald Rumsfeld used to call the unknown unknowns. And that's what's got everybody concerned.
Yeah. Pat, the other thing, too, is obviously in your capacity as a NYPD, you worked with a variety of level security and you know, high-value individuals up to and including motorcades for the president and things like that. Wall Street Journal now reporting that Secret Service is increasing its security around Mar-a-Lago, and the White House saying the U.S. Secret Service is actively monitoring the situation in Iran and remains close in our coordination with our federal and local partners. The public may notice an increased law enforcement and federal presence around the U.S. Secret Service protected sites. I can't say I blame them.
Well, let's be honest. I mean, and my company actually bid the security at Mar-a-Lago. I'm a member there, so I'm intimately familiar, Carl, but I'm going to be a little bit, circumspect in terms of what I'll share. But the reality is this guy got in on February 1st at 1:47 in the morning because there was a micro gap. There was a gate that closed a little bit too slow. Their security there is tight. Trust me.
I've been there.
I'm coming down on a motorcycle there all the time, and they have the dog searching the bike. I'm always worried it's going to burn his nose. But to tell you the truth, as you well know, the best security plan is still an armed and trained human being with ice in his veins. And that's what we saw at 1:40 in the morning at the North Gate in Mar-a-Lago. They breached, but he was neutralized very quickly, which means shot and killed. Yeah. Well done.
Exactly. Charles, the other thing, too, we're looking at this, the FBI Joint Terrorism Task Force now investigating a shooting at this bar that we were just talking to Jason Jones about. 14 wounded, 3 people dead. What are the odds of this being more prevalent, though?
Oh, it's going to continue to increase. Look, whether it's somebody that came into the country illegally, somebody that came in through one of the legal pathways that were exploited by Biden, claims of asylum, temporary protective status, and even legal immigration, where they were just more lenient than they should have been. We are also going to see sympathizers within the country. You know, radicalization now takes place within our own borders. It used to be a thing that needed to be achieved by traveling to a special interest location or going online. Now it takes place in our cities on a daily basis. So there's a number of ways that this can happen and take place, and that's why we're going to continue to see this threat rise, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, and it is unfortunate that we're sitting here dealing with this. Pat, real quick before we go, what can people do to be vigilant about this stuff and help out?
Grow eyes in the back of your head and grow eyes in the side of your head. Pay attention to your surroundings, develop situational awareness, pick up the phone if you see something that's even remotely suspicious. No one will ever badmouth you for calling it in. So over-report and get that head on a swivel.
Yeah.
That's my advice.
Find people like us. We carry extra magazines for days like this.
Good
Pat,
advice. And
Charles,
that too.
we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right.